go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Voice Radio.
Welcome everybody from around the world to Soul Purpose Healing. I'm Viata, your host, and we're gonna drum it in now with Becca Shea. And we have a very special guest tonight, Brother Eddie Harris, the metaphysician and numerologist, is going to take us deeper into the earth on magic mushrooms in your melanin. So let's get out our drums and let's join Becca Shea in the Blog Talk studio to drum in some love and unity. Hallelujah. Welcome everybody to Soul Purpose Healing. Tonight, we're going deeper into the mushrooms and the melanin. We had a show last week that was full of technical difficulties, full of disconnection from the Blog Talk studio to YouTube. But through it all, we got a message, a very powerful message from Spirit, that this was a subject that needed to be talked about more. And many of my listeners shared how well informed and educated they are on mushrooms. So we're going deeper tonight with my brother Eddie Harris, who's a metaphysician and a numerologist. And before I get into the lesson or the class with Eddie, I want to just show you this beautiful video called Fantastic Fungi documentary. It's a trailer, but I'm going to introduce you to it so that you might be inspired to watch it on YouTube. It's actually free. You can watch it on YouTube. You can watch it on Netflix if you have Netflix, but it's free. And this is the video that really got my attention about the power of mushrooms and even trees and our ecosystem and how amazing it is. So let's start off tonight with this beautiful visual. It's a trailer about the movie or the documentary called Fungus, Fantastic Fungus. And that'll, I hope, get you really excited about what Brother Eddie's going to share with us on the metaphysical level, numerology, bringing all the cosmic wisdom tonight for all of us to grow. It's all about our growth, right? We are growing tonight. We're growing in leaps and bounds this year. We're only in the second week. No, we're in the fourth. We're in the end of January. We're really at the beginning. We're at the beginning of we're at the beginning of 2024, and it has been an amazing adventure. Let's call it an adventure of war and rumors of war and conflict and reconciliation. I want to share with you real quickly something that happened to me today that I thought was just a blessing from the Most High. And a shout out to all my sisters on the Female Solution, because we have a meeting every Sunday and we talk about what we're going to do and on the shows and how we're what we're doing in our own lives and all that. And I brought up something that triggered me. They mentioned a name of a person that I didn't have a very good experience with, and they were mentioning this name, and I admitted, I said, you guys are triggering me about him because I didn't have the same experience. And we had a conversation about this person. And at the end of the conversation, I said, well, why don't you all contact him and let him know that, I didn't have a good experience with him. And after the meeting, Spirit spoke to me and said, why don't you call him and reconcile the conflict or the difference you had with him? I thought, I don't know. Do I want to do that? Yes, I want to do that. So I called him, left a message. He called me back. And we had a very, very beautiful conversation where I expressed my disappointment in how the relationship went for 2 years. And boy, this man just humbled me and opened my heart to forgiveness, because he apologized. He apologized of recognizing how I felt. And then I asked him questions about what was going on in his life in that time. And I found out he was really struggling with a very personal health problem. So at the end of the conversation, he said, I would really like to renew this relationship we had going for 2 years with this project that I wanted him to help me with. And I said, that sounds great. And he said, but he's been real busy. And he said, why don't you call me when you're ready? He said, I'll do that. Wow. Our conversation ended, and I thought, wow, this is a period, a season of reconciliation. And that's what our show was about on Friday. If you missed Friday's show, you need to go back to Health and Wellbeing with Viata on the Female Solution, because I talked about reconciliation and forgiveness. And I had that experience today in a way I was unexpected. But shout out to the ladies of the Female Solution. We are sisters who come together not just to talk business, but these ladies help me hear and help me listen and then help me act on what I hear in a way that brings reconciliation. So think about reconciliation tonight, even if you're having a struggle with something and you're not sure how it should go. If you're worried about a family member or anyone who has been needing forgiveness, maybe let this show be the trigger to help you move and take action to reconcile with someone. So anyway, that's my testimony. I just had to share that because I felt so blessed to have had that experience today. So let's look at the fantastic fungi trailer that is going to show us the awesomeness of not just fungi and mushrooms, but the awesomeness that the melanin will bring into our talk today. So let's look at these beautiful.
There is a world under the earth, full of magic and mystery.
These mushrooms can get you high, they can heal you, they can feed you, they can kill you.
It holds the consciousness of nature's connection to all living things.
I mean, they correct everything on Earth. They support life, they convert life, they carry life. They're remarkable beings.
In a world of invention, the answer to our greatest problems may be hiding right under our feet.
They can break down anything that's hydrocarbon based. So that includes stuff like oil spills.
You can filter water. You can create medicinal compounds almost on demand.
Just to give you an idea of how much fungi are in the forest, as you're walking through, it's about 300 miles of fungi.
The bulk of the organism is growing underground, and it's composed of these long threads called a mycelium.
Almost everyone knows about the computer internet. The mycelium shares the same network design.
It's amazing what we don't know about mushrooms. They really are a frontier of knowledge.
I think the psychedelic members of the mushroom kingdom are fascinating. Why do mushrooms produce molecules that fit receptors in the human brain and body? Does that mean that we're supposed to be using these things?
The most glorious part was that it made me feel more comfortable with living because you're not afraid of dying.
This magical ancestor gave us life, connects us all, nourishes our body and soul. It is the last kingdom ready for us to explore.
We need these mushrooms. We work together as a community to solve problems. We could be the community that heals the planet.
When we see it, we understand it. And when we understand it, we care about it. And when we care about it, we'll do something to help save it.
We can heal the planet. We can build the future. And our world is fantastic.
And you can watch the rest of that documentary on, as I said, on Netflix or on YouTube. It's free on YouTube. What great information you can get free about what we're going to talk about tonight. And we've got Empress Regina. We bow down to Empress Regina, great being, beautiful people. Regina, did you notice that they called mushrooms beings? How about that? We're all vibrating with the mushrooms tonight as beings. And our sister Zelda, Monday morning mindfulness host on Female Solution, says, "Grand evening, oh wise one. Thanks so much for the information. I love mushrooms, especially with cheese. I had for dinner some shiitake mushrooms with Japanese sweet potatoes. If you've never had Japanese sweet potatoes, you should try them because they're very, very high in nutrition. They're not the regular orange sweet potatoes. They're actually a whitish color, but they're very high in nutrition. So I'm feeling super high, super high. So I want to go in the studio and see if my brother Eddie Harris is here in the studio. And we want to introduce you to Eddie Harris. He's our metaphysics and numerology expert. And we're going to talk about some cosmic and beautiful things about mushrooms. So, Brother Eddie, are you there?
Greetings and grand rising, family. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you for joining me this evening. I'm excited to sit, and I've got my paper and pen ready. And Eddie, I would love to have you. I know you're a regular on the show, but I would love to have you give our audience a little bit of background for you, like where you were born and a little bit about your family, and so they can get to know we can get to know you better and how you developed this amazing interest in this topic tonight.
Yes, thank you for that. And I'd like to start off with saying Ashe to the ancestors, Namaste to the elders, peace, love, honor, and respect to our family and listening audience. Thank you for having me. And yes, a little small background with myself is I'm a father of 5. I got 5 on it. We definitely get back to the 5. It is very important. Even in that number, by the word important itself, important comes to 5. So this is 5, and hopefully at the very beginning, using the 5 to grab your curiosity, because we're all connected to the numbers. Starting off firsthand with a brief description and definition of metaphysics. It is the reality that exists beyond the physical world. In short, beyond your physical sight. Numerology, and before I get to numerology, I say again to the ancestors being my metaphysical teacher, which is Dr. Delbert Blair. If the family has never heard of Dr. Blair, please take the time to pull him up. Over 50 years as a metaphysical physician himself. This was my introduction to metaphysics in 2012 when I met Dr. Delbert Blair. The numerology is the study of the occult, family. The study of the occult. And please don't feel the word occult, because it only means hidden. The study of the occult, significant to the numbers, and using that as a catalyst to gematria. Gematria is the practice of the assignment of the numeral value to the letters, names, words, and phrases by reading it as a number, or sometimes by using an alphanumerical cipher. The cipher is the code that is being given. And this particular code comes from Marty Lees. If you look up Marty Lees dealing with pi, the English language, you will see the breakdown, which I will go over in a second, the alphabetical code that is used. Because in numerology, most people use the 26 letters with the 26 numbers to basically get the number. Like I said, this is the occult, so it's hidden. It is hidden.
Well, let me ask you a question, Brother Eddie. Let me ask you a question. Why do you think we have not been taught this information in public schools, or even, I don't even think our parents were taught this information? What do you think is the reason behind the hidden fact of these numerology and gematria and all the occults?
Basically because, again, being hidden, we've always heard of the truth will set you free. Well, using the numbers, which numbers don't lie, people would have found out what we're talking about right now much earlier. It wouldn't have took us, as history tells us, the 400 years before we came out of the darkness into the light. Because even understanding 400 years by the number, not by the story they gave us, because now we're able to tell our own story by using the numbers. So 400 years comes to 5, not 4, as we're saying 400 years, and we're locked in on that 400 years, not the years giving you the number 19. 4 plus 19, you come to that 5. That's the 5. 5 is a code. A code is 23. I'll break the numbers down as we go along, but a code is 23, which is the 5.
So you're saying it was all
400 years. Go ahead.
You're saying it was all in divine order that we received this information or this knowledge when we're receiving it.
That's right. This is known as the age of Aquarius, the awakening.
Okay.
The reset that they keep talking about is our awakening.
Okay.
And again, trying to keep us sleeping has been their slaving grace.
Okay.
But again, you can't stop what is predestined to happen. And this is what's happening now.
And more people are
Metaphysics
talking
is
about
more-
it. Yeah, more and more people are
Oh, yeah.
talking about this knowledge. So it's up to each individual to choose to wake up or not, right?
Yes, it's I love saying that it's not me, you, or anybody else. It's the universe
Right.
that dictates all changes.
Right.
Change is also part of the occult. Occult is 23, change is 23. You keep hearing people saying a change is going to come. The change is here. But now being able to see the change by the number of the word, not just by man's definition of each word. This is what has us stuck, holding on and embracing man's word instead of holding on and embracing God's word. The word was God, and with God, it was God, it is God. So the word of man gives us no room to deviate from the meaning of his word. God's word has no limitations. That's the freedom that the word of God gives us. Man word does not give us that freedom.
Right. Okay. And the Creator's word
Okay.
is written in the sky and in nature in my life.
That is part of the key to all that we're talking about tonight, dealing with nature that's found in the air, in the wind. And that will, again, like I said, this will be proven dealing with the numbers because, again, metaphysics is the blueprint behind the English alphabet that we speak. And we were never able to see the blueprint of the alphabet, only the alphabet the way it was presented to us. So right now, hopefully, as you said, people have a pen and paper so that I can give them this code that I work from that came from Marty Lee's, but it's deeper than that, where he got it from, and I explained during tonight's class. If you get a piece of paper and basically get in the middle of the page of the paper and write these 13 numbers down, you're going to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Once you get to 7, we're going down. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you did that 1 through 7, and then when you got to 7, go back down from 6 to 1, there's 13 numbers. Now, over that list of numbers and line up each letter with the number. Go ahead.
No.
Okay, I thought you were saying something.
No, somebody's ringing my phone.
Line up. Somebody's what?
Somebody was ringing my phone, or a ding came in for a text.
Oh, okay.
So go ahead. Sorry.
So, no problem. Over the numbers, at the top of those numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, start off with the letter A is over 1, B is over 2, C is over 3, D is over 4, E is over 5, F is over 6, and G is over 7. You're going down. H is 6, I is 5, J is 4, K is 3, L is 2, and M is the 1. Now, under that, you start with the next group of letters that starts from N. So N would start at the beginning again, under one. Under one. O is under two. P under three. Q under four. R under five. S under six. And T is under seven. U is under six on the other side. V is under five. My sister, Dr. V. W is under four. X is under three. Y is under two. And Z is under one.
Okay.
When you really look at that, you'll see that the alpha, which is the beginning letter, and the omega, the last letter, is 1 and 1. They're in the place of 1 and 1. Well, we always hear of the words alpha and omega. Alpha is 13 and omega is 16. When you add 13 plus 16, you got 29. 2 plus 9 is 11. The 1 and the 1. The A and the Z. It's hidden. All of this is the occult that's hidden right in front of us. And this is what we have to claim. The number of your name. The number of your birth. When you claim it, you become it. It becomes you. And it starts to show you things. Again, when I say I got 5 on it, the reason being, too, that particular phrase comes to 41. 4 plus 1 is 5, which, again, is the occult, being 23. English is truly an occult language.
Mm-hmm.
Why? The numbers prove it. English is 32. Occult is 23. And again, if you look at that chart, every word that I'm saying, it adds up. If it doesn't add up, your brother will definitely shut up. But it's understanding hidden, even in that, is when we look at the number of God. Look at your list right quick. Look at the 7, which is G. Look at the 2, which is O, and the 4, which is D. G-O-D. Or if we use the numbers, rearrange it, we constantly say 24/7. When we hear that, that is the number of God. 2 plus 4 plus 7 is 13. And 1 plus 3 is 4. This is the fear that they have us of the number 13. No 13th floor. Friday the 13th. All dealing with bad luck. No, it's not. It's keeping you as far away from God as possible, and they're claiming it. When we look at history, by their 13 colonies, 13, that became the first 13 states. United States of America abbreviation is USA, 13. We can go on and on about that, but let me digress, excuse me, and get back to the occult of English, which basically started, the occult with this started way back with the Freemasons. Again, we unfold that occult is 23, English is 32. Well, Freemason that we always talk about is also 32. The beginning of the so-called independence of this country was formed on July 4th, 1776. Well, July being 7 plus 4 is 11. 1776 equals 93. 11 plus 93 is 104, which is that 5 family. It's part of the occult. It's part of the Freemasons. Also uses the name the Founding Fathers. Ain't that something?
Now,
Founding is
Eddie,
32 and father Go ahead.
For those who don't know what the Freemasons are, do you have any little tidbit you can give about what they represent in this global arena of drama?
Yes, the Freemasons, again, are the orators of what's behind the occult, on the occult side. Most of your Masons don't even realize and recognize this. This is why they have orders or rungs or levels that you go to. First degree, second degree, third degree, all the way up to a 33-degree Mason. This is why these numbers are there. They're hidden also behind the words. Because again, if we go back to July 4th, 1776, it was put together by what is known as the Founding Fathers. The majority, if not all, of the Founding Fathers were Freemasons. Founding Fathers come up to 68. 6 plus 8 is 14. 1 plus 4 is 5. They still there. In sign and symbolism, they give you a pyramid over your left eye or a triangular shape over your left eye. Left eye is also 32. We come up to modern times and we talk about the Georgia guide stones. Well, Georgia guide stones come up to 86. That equals a 5. We had a tragedy that most people are looking left instead of right. Well, when you add left and right up, you got 50. But we looking left, dealing with 9/11. And it's to keep us off keel. Well, 9/11, 2001 equals a 5. It's no coincidence that we keep saying this 5. When we talk about chemicals are 32, which is 5. We talk about the chemtrails in our atmosphere. Chemtrails are 41, 5. Atmosphere is 41, the 5. We talk about this pandemic, which we know was a lie, but pandemic is 23. And the pandemic gave us the coronavirus, which equals 41, the 5. That started off with this vaccine. Vaccine is 23 to 5. We don't even talk about the flu vaccine anymore, but guess what? Flu is 14 to 5. That's all the coronavirus is an exotic name for the flu.
Right.
The flu has died because the coronavirus took its place. We even pay for our own demise by way of going back to July 4th, Independence Day, when we celebrate. A lot of people still go out and buy fireworks. Fireworks is 41, which is 5. Within the fireworks are the same metals that are in the chemtrails. This is why that smoke is coming out. We are now digesting and inhaling all of these toxics from the fireworks that and the sulfur that we're smelling during this time. These people are ingenious to the point where we would never have been able to see these things.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's because of Dr. Delbert Blair and Marty Leeds that I got this code from, because family, every night when I dream only in words and numbers. Even when I see faces, the faces convert into numbers. So this was basically for me. Like I said, I got into metaphysics in 2012. I got into numerology in 2013. I haven't been into this for a long length of time. A lot of people would say, well, dang, that's over 10 years, yeah? And it seems like it was just yesterday, family.
Well,
but that's the beauty behind the information that I've been given to share. Well, beauty is 23. The 5. Share is 23. The 5. We're all teachers, which is 32. The 5. Because who was the ultimate teacher? They called him Jesus Christ. Well, Jesus Christ is 59. 5 plus 9 is 14. The 5. See, it's all in divine order, because we've been out of order for so long, but this was part of the process of the institutions of education that we were brought into.
We have got
do you have any questions?
Well, we've got someone with their hand up, so if it's okay with you, I'll open up the mic and see if they have a question or a comment. Oh, that's Mama AZ. Your hand is up. 336-350. Your mic is open.
Greetings. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Go right ahead.
Yes, we can.
Okay. This is Dee. Greetings, family. And I think my sister, Maddie Harris, is chimed in. I chimed her in because her life path is a 5. And so is my brother Bobby is a 5. But I need to make this clear, family. When I found out about Brother Harris, I was getting ready to do a ceremony at the Buffalo Soldier Camp at Fort Naco, Arizona. And it was the other Brother Eddie from South Carolina that turned me on to Brother Harris. But it's interesting because my dad made his transition, Bob Harris Sr., he made his transition August the 26th in 95, and he made sure that I wasn't able to come home to his homegoing celebration. I was park hostessing at Pettigrew State Park in North Carolina, Terrell County, right next door to Somerset Place. Somerset Place is a wheat and rice plantation that was ran for a long time by a sister who her parents or grandparents or her relatives or her people were enslaved on that plantation called Somerset Place. There's a book about it. Her and Alex Haley, the Roots guy. Anyway, I wasn't able to come home, and my family was all upset and so on. And I park hosted for 4 months at Pettigrew State Park. But what was so interesting about it, my dad waited until the guy in campsite number 6 in North Carolina, Terrell County, had moved, and I positioned myself in campsite number 6. My dad told me it wasn't necessary for me to spend that $1,500, which is another 6, to come home, because I am going on another journey. That journey was numbers and paying attention, family, to the numerology, to the alphabet, because everything is numbers. That's what my dad told me. And he told me about Brother Harris, but I didn't know at the time until I was introduced to him, and it made sense. Even today, what's the energy of today, family?
Today's
what's
a
the
1.
energy of
Today,
this show?
today's a 1 or a 10. And thank you, Mama AZ, because I think many of us have a story of how we started paying attention to numbers. And thank you for that.
Yes.
We've got another
knowledges
yes.
for planting seeds that
yes.
you may not see come to fruition. But thank you.
Yes.
I have so much to be grateful for.
Yes.
Thank you, Brother Harris.
Yes.
Thank us.
So, Brother Harris, do you want to comment on that? We do have another caller, but I'll let you comment if you have a comment on what she just said.
Basically, yes, it is very important to keep in contact with those numbers. And even, I didn't mention earlier, with metaphysics coming to a 9, it's 45. 4 plus 5 is 9. Blueprint is 36, which is a 9. And the alphabet is 27, which is a 9. That's 999. It basically signifies or symbolizes the 666. All you've done was turn the 9 upside down. She kept mentioning 6, room cabin number 6. 666 equals 18. 1 plus 8 is 9. 999 equals 27. 2 plus 7 is 9. It's hidden right in plain sight.
All right. So
yes.
Let me go to the next caller. And we welcome all of you. Press 1 if you're in the studio, you want to make a comment or have a question for Brother Eddie or anyone here. And we'll open your mic. And then I'm going to read some comments after this caller that are in the blog or Facebook family. 810-358, your mic is open. Welcome.
Greetings, Dr. V, and greetings, Brother E, and greetings, Mama AZ. And I just come to verify that this brother keeps saying that this is a divine order. And how divine it is. I got the chills even before I speak.
Yes.
Mama AZ just said the person that turned her on to your radio show, or the Brother Eddie, was the other Eddie from Carolina. Guess who plugged me up with this show tonight? Who? Eddie from Carolina. We was on the phone together. And then...
Greetings, Brother Eric. How you doing?
Oh, my brother. Man, you lit me up tonight, man. I was on the phone with somebody today. You was at the top of our conversation about having you on the radio because we miss you, man. So your family is out here listening to you tonight. We got several of us out here listening to you, man. We love you, bro. And check this out. I just want to verify what you're saying is real, man. You say divine order. When you started the show, you said everybody always say 24/7. Guess what the score of the game was? The Lions and the 49ers, 24-7 when you said that. Now it's 24-10, but it was 24/7 at that moment.
Wow.
Brother Eddie. Then you said this code is 1316. Guess what? The quarterback for Frisco is 13. The quarterback for Detroit is 16.
Wow.
Guess what else?
Wow.
The 5 is all over. The 5 is all over. This whole Super Bowl playoff series is all. Listen to this. Michigan played Washington State in college. The Harbaughs won again. The Harbaugh was the best in college, best in pro. Right? They lost today. The Ravens lost today, but the Harbaughs, listen, they both born on the 23rd. One in December and the other one in September, the 23rd. Guess what? The quarterback for the Lions is born on the 14th. Usher is going to be a halftime show for the Super Bowl. Usher born on the 14th.
Wow.
The Lion of Judah will be the Sphinx in Las Vegas next to the Luxor Hotel where the Super Bowl will be played. You know, it's all lined up. And guess what? A 5 ratio give you gold. That's how you get gold, from a 5 ratio. The number several numbers for gold. One is 1618. Another one is 79. In The Wizard of Oz, Diana Ross played the wizard. She played Dorothy, right? Clicked her heels and walked the yellow brick road to the gold. Is that right? Kansas City gonna be in the Super Bowl, and Dorothy is from Kansas, right? Guess how old Diana Ross is?
80?
79 years old.
Oh,
79.
wow. Okay.
And Motown they will be dancing in the street in Detroit. And listen, today is a one. Well, Bob Marley movie coming out is One Love. I love you, brother Eddie. Peace.
Eric, don't go away. Don't go away, Eric. I'm a football fan only because my dad played football and his picture's behind me here, and I love football. I don't keep up with it. So tonight, okay, so tell me, tonight was a playoff game. Are they done? Who won? What happened?
Okay, first it was Kansas City, and they overlapped the Wizard of Oz because remember Michael Jackson starred in The Wiz, and Baltimore have Lamar Jackson. The owner of the Chiefs' name is Lamar Hunt.
Okay.
So you know who they hunt? They still hunt nothing, and Lamar Jackson wear cornrows in his hair, so the hunt is still on. Okay, so they took him out, and now they're going to be in the Super Bowl against, well, I say the game ain't over, but I say that the lion is coming across the Golden Gate because we in the age of Aquarius, and on the other side of Aquarius is a Leo, and we in a full moon in Leo. Tonight is a one. Bob Marley, a Rasta man, will be considered a lion of Judah. His movie is called One Love. So everything is on the one, y'all. It's all lined up. The Detroit, I say Detroit all the way. The Lions, the Leo.
Okay, and
that's what's on the other side of Aquarius.
And the Super Bowl is what, next Sunday?
No, a Sunday after next.
2 weeks on the 11th of February.
Oh, 2/11.
Oh, there you go. And everything is a double, y'all. Because I just showed y'all Michael Jackson, Lamar Jackson. I can show y'all Nipsey Russell and Nipsey Hussle. You see, I can show y'all the Year of the Dragon and Kobe Bryant, the Black Mamba. It's all doubles, man. It's all doubles. And listen, Kobe wore number 24, which is 6, and he wore number 8. 8 and 6. He what, my brother Eddie?
14.
Jesus came through how many generations? 14.
All right now. All right. We had to have a little sports activity, a little football. Doesn't hurt the conversation. Always bring in some football.
Divine. It's all divine. It's all divine, y'all, because football, Pisces, the feet, we coming out of Pisces. So it's time to move your feet now. We got to move our feet because I say they're going to be dancing in the street of Detroit. I already see it. But anyway, man, I love the divine order of things. It's beautiful. And it's funny that your dad played football. What number was he?
Right there. He was 25 in college. So that was this picture behind me is Nevada. He played for he played for Nevada in college. I can't remember exactly what number he played. But see, he had several numbers. He
played for Nevada.
Yeah, he played for the Wolverines, I think they were. And then he played for Cleveland Browns. He played for the Cleveland Browns and the New York Yanks. So he played for several.
The Wolverines won the college championship.
Who was that?
The Wolverines. The Michigan Wolverines won the college championship.
Oh.
And the Super Bowl is in Nevada, Las Vegas, where your dad played, and he played for the Wolverines.
No. You know what? No, he played for the Wolfpacks. It was the Wolfpacks in Nevada. That wasn't the Wolverines, because he played for Nevada in college and played for the Cleveland Browns and New York Yanks, 2 professional teams. So anyway,
I was about to mention that, family. You corrected it. Instead of Wolverine, it was the Wolf Pack. Didn't we just have the Wolf Moon last week? And Wolf, by the way, is 14. Wolf is 14, which is at 5.
We're in the Wolf Moon right now, my brother.
Wolf season.
Yes, Wolf is 14 at 5, family.
All right, we're all in divine. Well, thank you, Eric, for that sports update. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
And Brother Eddie,
keep it rolling, my brother. Keep it rolling.
Okay, Brother Eddie, we're throwing the football back to you now.
And remember, football and all of these activities that we look at is called sports. Sport comes to 23, family. Why you think we so hooked on sports? Because the number reflects the 5. And again, understanding that the alphabet 27 deals with metaphysics 45. That's when my Christian family are looking for the second coming of what? Jesus Christ. That's metaphysical. Because in retrospect, the second coming represents truth. Jesus Christ is revealed. We revealing the truth. Go ahead. Were you about to say something?
Well, number one, I strongly believe that the Messiah Christ is coming back up here in the brain as the spirit of truth. People are waking up to the spirit of truth, and that's what the return of Messiah is, in my understanding. And then we got a lot of comments I got to read to you on Facebook, because people are getting into shrooms. And I'm not into shrooms, but I'm ready to learn more about shrooms, and I want to know if you know about shrooms. But let me read you some of the comments here. Dan, let's see, this is Dan Kings, or no, Dan Kings. Hi, Dan. Empress Regina, I did the shroom chocolate I got from Zig Hills on Instagram, and I had the best experience of my life. 10/10, definitely recommend. And he's sending that message to both Empress Regina and Zelda, the same message. He did shroom chocolate, got from Zig Hills on Instagram, blog, had the best experience of his life. Now, shrooms, we're talking about what, psychedelics or something else?
I'm not really vast in the mushrooms. I deal with another godly substance called Mary Jane.
Okay.
Marijuana.
Well, okay, so that's good to know, because CBD and all of the things around the plant, the other plants from the plant kingdom, are all like connected to us, growing underground and producing. What did he say? Producing. You said producing molecules that fit receptors in the brain. So we're looking at tonight all of these plants that can change your experience in this life, especially from the brain.
And right quick, understanding that plant comes to 14.
Okay.
We're planting a seed in what? The brain. Brain is 14. It's all connected. Your brain is 14 and your thought is 41. This is why you are, as a man thinketh his thoughts, so is he. That's the first portion of that temple that's at the top, at the heaven. Temple is 23. Heaven is 23. As you said, the heaven is your brain. See, that second coming of Christ. Christ is part of your brain.
Yes. Yes.
And the second coming is the truth that we exalt.
Right.
We reveal.
Yes.
That's why the second coming is just the truth revealed. And again, what is the statement? The truth will do what? Sets you free. But the key is, can you handle the truth, or you can't handle the truth? Which one is it? Because the truth reigns supreme. The truth doesn't need anything to exalt it but the truth itself. And that's what we're being given now. And again, I'm just here to expound on the numbers of truth and to show the proof of the truth that we could never see. That's why when we look at the word hips is the acronym for hidden in plain sight. Well, when you look at a woman's hips, what's hidden in plain sight? Between her hips, her vessel, her vagina. Well, let's go back and look at the word hips. Hips comes to the number 20, which is 2. Vagina comes to the number 20, which is 2. Vessel comes to the number 20, which is 2. And hidden and plain sight equals 74. 7 plus 4 is 11. 1 plus 1 is 2. It's right there, hidden in plain sight, family. And we never saw it.
Oh boy.
That's why they say it's hidden in plain sight. It's right in front of us, and we can't see what we're saying by the number of the word. We're hooked on the definition, which keeps us blind. That's why blind is 14. And you keep using the blind to lead the blind. It's game, recognized game. Game is also 14.
Well,
when we get into the 5, we start. Go ahead.
No, we've got a lot of conversation going on in Facebook tonight. I'm so excited because we've got people really participating and excited and really communicating with one another. And I want to just share, for those of you who are in the Blog Talk studio, yes. Olivia says, for those that are in tune, will hear the number of the words in the matrix of the brain. Will let you know, the brain will let you know what frequency people are on and how the universe speaks and gives the vision. That is such a powerful statement, Olivia. Eddie, you want to comment on that one? And I got several other comments here.
I'm just going to make a small comment on that. Thank you, my beloved cousin. Olivia is my cousin in California.
Oh,
my blood cousin. So,
okay.
Yes, we are constantly in class every day because Life Family is your class. It's not a classroom. This show is a class.
Yeah.
Even by number, life is 18-9. Class is 18-9. Show is 18-9. This show of this class should give us pertinent information. Information is 36, which is that 9. It's all part of the class. We're still learning. Learning is 27, which is that 9. That's why it started from the woman. Woman comes to 9. And the woman, another name for woman is feminine or the female, 9-11. When we look at those numbers, woman and female is 9-11. But yes, this is a female of my family, which basically I will be giving her the torch when I get out of this, or when I come to that point where I transition. She, Olivia, will have all of the information that I'm giving so she can carry the torch that I'm sharing.
Hallelujah.
So yes, big up to family member Olivia, and it was right on point in what she said. So yes, you can continue to comment on the other callers or people who are writing in.
All right. Olivia says right on with a thumbs up. And then Zelda, our Monday morning host, says, wow, 13. Who knew? Thanks, Brother Eddie. Awesome information. And Zelda's curious about what Dan Kings is talking about, what kind of experience he's having. And Dan is replying, Zelda Robinson, the satisfaction I craved for. It's better you hit Zichel's DM on Instagram. You'll feel what I'm saying. Give it a try. So Olivia again says right on. Craig is in the house. Craig Van. Thank you, Craig, for joining us. That's where our Carolina rice came from. I grew up on it. You grew up on where? I'm confused about that one. Where Carolina rice came from. Maybe you're talking about what Eric said. Clarify that for me, Craig. That's where our Carolina rice came from. I grew up on it. And then Olivia says, wow, this is an amazing breakdown, Brother Eric. Yeah, Brother Eric flew in here and broke down some football knowledge and all kind of other knowledge. And Olivia says, y'all fired tonight. Yes, we're on fire tonight because number one, the moon is full and the season is right. And we've got a fire even in our country going on. People at the Texas border, they were lining up on the Texas border to have a civil war over and out there. So yeah, things are heating up, and I think it's going to get even more interesting in February. And then Craig says what Grandma Arizona said. Oh, okay, about where rice came from. Yes, okay. So Eddie, any comments on those comments? And Olivia says, thank you, cuz I'm honored, cuz.
Yes, everybody is like I said, it's the awakening. So everybody is already connected to numbers by birth. They're connected to numbers by their name. We're just now becoming aware of the numbers. We're seeing them so much, and we know it's something to it. A lot of us can't put our finger on it, but our hearts are speaking to us. And again, that's the key, or the keys to the locks to be unlocked. And that's dealing with also the melanin of the magic mushrooms. By the way, magic mushroom comes to 52, which is a 7. You mentioned 25 being a 7 of your father's jersey, which as soon as you said that, I'm like, oh, we're going to touch on that 7. Because 52, magic mushroom, which is 7, comes to your melanin. Melanin is 16, which is a 7. And that's the magic of the mushroom that's already embedded in all of us. And the deeper pigment of the darkness of your melanin, which as you run from that dark, not understanding dark is 13. This is why most movies deal with the dark and deal with your fear, because that, again, that's where God resides, in the dark. But he's also the light, because when we look up in the sky during the day, what do we see? What kisses our face? It's called the sun. Sun is 13. God is 13. This is why the return of that sun, and not the S-O-N sun, is key. We can't live without God, a.k.a. we can't live without the sun, a.k.a. we can't live without water. Water is 22, the 4. Sun is 13, the 4, along with God being 13. See, all of it's hidden right in front of us. And this is the time of the revealing through Aquarius. By the way, Aquarius is 34, which is the 7 that we just talked about, dealing with your melanin, which is 16. This is why the awakening comes in Aquarius. So you can continue with the comments that you're reading. So
okay, I'm
get
gonna
back to that 7 that is.
We have okay, I've read all the comments. I'm gonna take a quick break here, and then I want to play a video that I'd like you to comment on, Eddie. It's how mushrooms clean up the planet and other fungi power. So I'm gonna take a quick commercial break. I hope this plays. I just downloaded it from an email that my sister Naima sent me. So I'm going to play that, and then we'll go right to the video on how mushrooms clean up the planet.
And I'm Naima Latif. Meet people like you who are making a positive difference in the world. Watch us every day on The Media Connection at www.youtube.com/The Media Connection TV.
YouTube it. We'll see you soon.
Okay, I think that's it. I guess it's a short one. Okay, that was a little advertisement for The Media Connection. Now let me just show you this beautiful video about mushrooms, and we're going to talk more about mushrooms, how mushrooms clean up. Let's see how mushrooms clean up Okay, I'm gonna play it first. Let's see. Okay, here we go. How mushrooms clean up.
Fungi. The fungi kingdom had a decisive role in the evolution of life, and it's not just in the previous time, but even in current time.
They degrade almost everything, sponge up some of the most hazardous pollutants, and can even create entirely new materials. They are strange and magical in ways you would never imagine. So could they potentially help to clean up the mess on our planet and become the building blocks of our future? But first of all, what are mushrooms actually? Let's explore their hidden existence. The mushrooms you put in your risotto, you see on your rotten veggies or find in the forest are equivalent to the tip of an iceberg. They are their own realm, different to animals and plants. Their secret life evolved over 1 billion years ago, and during evolution, fungi became the trailblazers of life as we know it. Mining nutrients from rocks and providing them to plants millions of years ago, they help plants to grow and produce oxygen, making our lives today possible. Within a couple of 100 million years, these microscopic life forms developed into real giants. On the Arab Peninsula, archaeologists found a fossil they initially thought was a tree. It turned out it was actually an 8-meter-high mushroom that grew 500 million years ago. However, the mushrooms we see on the surface is only the fruit of something much more vast. The real magic happens beneath the surface where the mycelium, the root-like web of the fungi, mostly grows. It is the largest known organism on the planet. The mycelium of the humongous fungus in Oregon spreads through an area of 9 square kilometers and is estimated to be up to 8,650 years old. Fungi are among the few organisms on the planet that can significantly break down lignin, a component in wood cells, but also present in fruits and any kind of tree or plant that decays after dying.
So if in the environment that would accumulate, that would be detrimental, then the nutrients would not be available to the plants again or to any other life form in the soil. So it's absolutely essential that there is someone who can degrade that fraction.
Erika Kote is a mycologist at the University of Jena in Germany. She's investigating the symbiosis between plants and fungi. Fungi are essential to keep our soils healthy, and scientists are just beginning to explore their amazing abilities.
So if fungi can help in the decomposition of a living thing, which is more complex than any organic compound, then this same set of organisms can also help in breaking down any organic pollutants in the environment.
Udeme Dixon lectures in analytical environmental chemistry at the University of Reading in the UK. He's looking into how fungi could potentially help clear land of oil pollution.
We have a lot of studies which has proved that toxic substances have been degraded by fungi.
Some 44,000 oil fields worldwide, illegal extraction and leaks in refineries and oil pipelines have led to an estimated 5 million oil-contaminated sites worldwide. Fuels and crude oil contain a wide range of pollutants, among them polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons or PAHs, one of the most worrying pollutants of our age. They kill flora and fauna, damage organs, and can cause cancer in humans and animals. Back in 1998, scientists had already found that mushrooms do grow on heavily oil-contaminated soils. In this case, oyster mushrooms. After 8 weeks, the total amount of contaminants in the soil plummeted by 99%, with PAHs also broken down into less toxic substances. But just how do fungi function? Well, organic pollutants like fuel oils originate from dead organic matter. So fungi degrade them with the same enzyme they degrade wood and leaves. Contaminants are chopped into smaller compounds which are less harmful or not dangerous at all, so they can become part of the nutrient cycle again. Some are degraded to CO2 or water.
The concept of going back to organisms which naturally perform the role of degradation and using them to degrade and wipe out pollutants in the environment is a very promising route.
But it doesn't end with organic matter. Fungi can also treat soils contaminated with arsenic, lead, and mercury from mining operations or even radioactive elements. In 1986, a nuclear reactor meltdown and explosion in Chernobyl spread devastating radioactive contamination, making the region uninhabitable to this day. In a trial near the nuclear reactor, Erika Kote used fungi together with host plants.
We could show that strontium, which is even a radioactive element, half of the bioavailable strontium could be taken up by the sunflower in the growth period of 12 weeks.
Later, the plants can be cut down, burnt, and the strontium-enriched ashes can be stored more safely. The soil is left significantly cleaner. What the fungi do here is change the mobility of the elements, fixing them in the soil, absorbing them, or helping plants to take them up. Samples taken to a Russian industrial site showed that fungi accumulated up to 40 times more nickel and copper than the soil they were growing in. So we might already be holding the solutions for heavily polluted soil in our hands. But as promising as some experiments are, many also fail.
That means I have 10 different experimental setups, and it went well in 7 and it didn't go well in 3 or the other way around. So what should I do? I cannot put that as a basis of putting into action real remediation schemes as an authority.
Treating soils with fungi is feasible in rather small areas. It's cheaper and more eco-friendly than conventional methods removing and burning it. It's not an easy method though, especially in entire forests or mining regions. Ecosystems are unique, and translocated fungi from another area do not necessarily grow in them. Promoting local species that can do the job would be key, but this takes time and patience. Of course, fungi can also decompose any organic waste from agriculture and the food industry. So what about using their power to degrade organic matter to build the blocks of our future? Like building a home made of mushrooms. No, we're not talking about moldy walls and cellars, and not about living like the Smurfs do in the TV series either. Well, maybe. It might sound strange, but in 2014, architectural team The Living built this 12-meter high tower in the city of New York. But not with stone, bricks, or concrete. Yes, you guessed it. They used 10,000 bricks made of mycelium.
They're very inexpensive to produce. They can be kind of grown and fabricated in almost any conditions, so they don't need specialized equipment. And then when you actually put these bricks out into the world, they're very strong, especially for their weight, but they're a lightweight brick.
David Benjamin headed the project and is Associate Professor for Sustainable Architecture at Columbia University.
So I wanted to just play that to just highlight how the versatility of mushrooms are. My goodness, building houses and so much more. It almost reminds me of flaxseed. We're learning a lot about how flax material and flax, the seed itself, can be used in so many different ways. So, Brother Eddie, this mushroom, as you mentioned, even CBD and marijuana cannabidiols, they all produce molecules that fit receptors in the brain. So, what is, as you're talking about the mystery and the magic of the melanin and the mushrooms?
Yes, right quick, let me backtrack just for a second and get with the word HIPS, that is the abbreviation or acronym that he had for Hidden in Plain Sight. And I had a question for you, which I already know, but the listening audience and family also. And that's understanding that this is dealing with the spiritual realm of things unseen, but we know that are there. So the question being, do you believe in things that you cannot see? Do you believe in the unseeable? And I prove this fact. Go ahead. What are you going to say?
That's a great question, because most of us think our reality is what we see. You know, we grow up not believing. Most of us grow up not believing in angels or spirits of any kind. But I have learned personally that 80-90% of our reality is actually invisible or unseen. So I, of course, do, but I'm sure there are lots of people listening, or some people listening, who don't know or are not conscious of the unseen world that we live in. And as I played in the beginning, even the mushroom ecosystem goes underground, and the trees goes underground where we cannot see. But yes, I definitely believe that our reality is mostly what we can't see.
Great. I'm with you on that. So for those who may not believe, or their answer would be no instead of yes.
Right.
Here's the point to push metaphysics. Do you believe in air and oxygen?
All right, now make it plain.
Okay. Now, air and oxygen that you can't see, you believe in. Come on, family.
Right.
And did we know by number, air comes to 11, which is that 2, hidden in plain sight, the hips. Oxygen is 20, which is 2. It's the same number. They keep changing the words, family. The air that we breathe, called oxygen, is connected to the universe. Universe is 38, which is a 2. This is why I say the universe, the air you breathe, regardless if you believe in it or not, if you don't believe in the air and oxygen, stop breathing and see what happens. So yes, believe is even 29, which is the 2. So again, these are things that are hidden in plain sight. Go ahead.
What that reminds me of is, as I began to practice yoga and learning how to deep breathe and practice deep breathing and use deep breathing in my stress moments and just deep breathing, I began to realize more and more the power of the breath and the connection to the Most High, the creator of the universe, when we consciously use the breath and take in that more oxygen, that we really are connecting to the universe and the creator in a very powerful way that keeps us alive. Because the deeper we breathe, I believe, the more we'll heal what's going on in the body and become more aware of all things that are invisible.
That is so true. This is why it is important to talk to yourself. Respect yourself.
Yes.
See, when we talk to the self, you're talking to your temple, you're talking to your brain, you're communicating to the cells, to the blood, to the organs that flow all through the body to help cure. See, because we are the cure.
Yes.
We know who the germs are. We know who's the poison. See, because in retrospect, when we understand that the fungi or better known fungus of the mushroom. Well, fungus is 31. That's God in reverse. God is 13. See, that's that darkness within that fungus. Darkness is 31. So again, that 4 and understanding the power of the mushroom, the power of your melanin, all began from the very start. In the beginning, at the birth of the universe, we got the Big Bang.
And
the Big Bang, go ahead.
Here's a word about we are the cure. When a doctor tells you that what you have is incurable, there's the truth, there's the occult of the message from medical doctors, MDs, that like to play the role of God and say, well, it's incurable, there's nothing we can do, you can go home and die. Well, it's Brother Eddie pointed out, we are the cure. The cure is inside. When you hear those words, it's incurable. That's a truth in there, a hidden truth in those words. Inside is the cure. And it begins with becoming more conscious about things like your breath and the oxygen around you and the trees and the ecosystem and the mushrooms and all that the brother was talking about this evening. He found a new experience that was from the brother Dan King. So yeah, the cure is inside. Thank you, Brother Eddie.
Yes, the cures, and by the number cures, you get 25, are the pure thoughts. That's the cure. See, because a doctor, as you said, dealing with the occult, doctor is 23, occult is 23. The doctor feels more or less not as God, but as the authority. Authority is 41. This is what the doctor is, and we give our authority to the doctor by listening to the nonsense. See, this is how we talk to ourselves, knowing that we are first in our temple with the way we think. And when we let outside forces enter your brain, your temple, and we accept what is being said to us, then that gives them the power over us. They have no power unless we give it away. So the doctor only represents the authority that we have relinquished and gave him. And we listen. What you hear, you can't unhear. And when you accept what you're hearing, that becomes a disease within your temple. Temple is 23. Disease is 32. Why do you think we go to the hospital 32 to become healed? 14 from the doctor 23 and nurse 23. It all adds up in that building of death. Death is 23, which is the hospital. If we listen to what they're pushing, they have an agenda. And it's part of the same thing, taking us out, especially those of us who are considered to be the elders or seniors today, because we carry that toll line of the information that we're here to pass on. That's why the beginning of the Big Bang with the cosmic breath of life became the flesh that I am. And when we look at all that, the beginning is 34, which is 7. Birth is 25, which is 7. Big Bang is a 7. Big Bang comes to 25. I am is the 7. Flesh is 7. Melanin is 7. See, because as a baby, at birth, we would call a blessing and or gift. Blessing is 34. Gift is 25. They're both 7. It's part of the test, which is 25, along our journey. Journey is 25. It's all connected to your melanin 16. Because as we was stated, melanin detoxifies. Melanin adapts to anything and it reprograms. It detoxifies you by the divine nature that you stand in. That divine nature will activate the awareness of your consciousness and memory on certain angles with the different waves and frequencies and vibrations leading the way along your journey with the energy of good intentions that are here to help you find and figure it out through the faith of that mustard seed, aka your pineal gland, that carries that secret weapon called melanin. Weapon is 16, melanin is 16. And when we understand we can tap into the melanin, which is the weapon, no weapon formed against you will prosper. Because that secret element within, that melanin, now has the condition to process everything correctly. We're coming out of the darkness through education that's promoted through television, television, the media and news, using television to reinforce this educational program that is now being reprogrammed by our melanin that is here to truly protect you. Once the memory banks start to flow, we become the masters of self. You're no longer a jack of all trades and a master of none. You're a jack of all trades and a master of one, the self. Self is 19, which is 1. You are 10 by number, which is 1. That's the one that you master, self. And the melanin is helping. It's an helper. Help is 16. Part of the melanin that is embedded within each and every one of us. Some have more pigment, some has less. But as was stated, we all are melanated. And it's the game being 14, that is being played so much that we don't recognize the game and we get caught up in the race of color. That's why race 14, game 14, color is 14. We're being played a game on constantly. And when we can't see the game, we can't recognize it. And it's easier to recognize by the numbers of the English, the occult English words that we use every day. We're truly manifesting. Manifest is 32. We're speaking it into existence, family. So we have to truly control what comes out of our mouth that starts in our thought, directly from the brain. That heaven, this is, it not, it must be heaven, it is heaven. Who has made our heaven a hell? It wasn't us. But it was part of the English language that has contaminated the views of the people with the poisons that are constantly given to us through the food, through the water, and in the air. See, we don't die, we multiply. Why is that? Because the melanin is here and it stands strong. And this is the fear that the system has of us waking up and realizing the power within us to change everything that's happening. We can change it just by eliminating certain words from our vocabulary. This English occult vocabulary, stop using them, stop saying them, they will die. They have no energy unless we keep it living by speaking it into existence. This is the power of the melanin that is the detoxifier that cleans up. The adaptability of melanin is endless. See, and this is why it's studied so hard. Even within us, they try to figure it out. They call it junk DNA. It's nothing in us that's junk. That's why junk is the number 14. They can't figure it out because it's alien to them. And guess what, family? We're all part of the alien race. Alien is 14, race is 14, and don't get hooked up on the extraterrestrial. Different word with a different number. What I'm giving now is an alien thought to some people who are not into numbers. If we go to another country, we are alien to that country. When the immigrants come here, they're alien. But we got it twisted with what Hollywood has gave us the figure of aliens to be. We're all aliens. That's why by their law, we're permitted to speak to aliens, but we're not permitted by law to speak to extraterrestrial. Ain't that something? And we think that extraterrestrial and aliens are the same. No. As I said, we are alien to any new thought or concept that comes our way. It's alien to us. It's not familiar. It's a play on words, and they've learned to use these words in such a way and program us to using them the way that they're giving it to us by definition, that we never see what's in plain sight. So we have to get personal. It is personal. That's why personal is 25. It's part of your melanin. We have to claim it, whatever it is, be it spiritual, be it dealing with the zodiac. And by the way, zodiac is 16, which is 7, part of your melanin. Astrology is 34, which is 7. Along with Aquarius, 34, which is 7. All part of your memory bank. Memory is 16, bank is 7. It's the memory bank that we need to be investing in, not this corporate entity called the banks that we put our money in. My mind is my money. That's why they say you got your mind on your money and your money on your mind. Mind and money are both 11. Didn't see it by number, but we heard it by the word. So yes, family, we're here to help activate one another through our conversation. Because there's certain things, not everything that I'm saying, but certain things that resonate with you. It's a reason that what I'm saying is coming out of my mouth resonates with you. And once you lock into the number of that which resonates with you, be it a word or be it a phrase, be it a sentence, a paragraph, whatever it is, it's all embedded in the numbers. And again, numbers don't lie. And that's the reason that we were never taught and basically instructed to stay away from numerology and astrology and astronomy and world religions and this, that, and the other. No. Religion is confusion. Religion is 32. Confusion is 32. It's a ball of confusion. Because the Creator didn't give us religion. The Creator gave us His Word. And man took His Word, placed names and titles and labels on the Word and called it religion. And we've been in confusion ever since, people. Family, we've been in a ball of confusion. And it's time, His time is run up. His time is out. That's why time is measured by numbers. We're on universal time, UT. UT comes to 13. That's universal time. Man's time is very limited. It's very skewered because he only has portions that he deals with and he gives it to us. And we accept time, that illusion, the way He has given it to us. We're much more than that. And this is why 14 to 5 is called fix. The fix is in because it's up to us to fix us, to five us. We got to fix ourselves. Those who put us in the conditions we're in are not going to fix us. Reparations is 41. Fix is 14. We got to fix us. Stop looking for reparations or somebody else to fix us. Because do you think with their financial means it's going to fix our mentality, our mental illness? It's not going to happen. We are here to be the doctors and psychiatrists and psychologists to help one another get through the nonsense. And it's resonating with all of us. And that's where we're going. This is what melanin is for. And this is the jealousy, the envy that the system has with melanated people, knowing that we are the first from the very beginning. That's why first don't come to the number 1. First comes to 29. 2 plus 9 is 11. It comes to 2. We will always be first, which is second to the Creator, family. We ain't number 1. We first, but we number 2. That's the number of first.
Brother,
they tricked us with everything. Go ahead, my sister.
No, I just want to let you know we got a couple of callers in the studio and comments in Facebook when you're ready.
Okay, well, no, let's always bring in the callers and read the comments because we want the people to express what's on their hearts. So,
absolutely.
yes, bring in the callers.
So we've got, let's see, my sister in Altamont Springs, Hari Simran Khalsa, says, beautifully said, the voodoo curse from the doctors. That's right. We know very well when they say there's no cure, that the cure is within. And Olivia says, heal equals 5, heal thyself through your health. Wonderful reminder, Olivia. And she says mushroom equals 5. So, wow, great reminders here. And the Zelda from HLN TV says, what a way to end your Sunday evening, learning how mushrooms quietly run the world. Looking forward to seeing the documentary. Yes, and that's, again, it's on YouTube. And Netflix, you can see Fantastic Fungus to learn more about this amazing world of microbes. Okay, so that's our comments in Facebook, and then we have a couple of callers in the studio. So let me go to 773-347. Your mic is open now. What's your comment or question for Brother Eddie? Check.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, check your. Yeah, go ahead. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Oh, Kofi.
Oh, Brother Kofi, how are you, Kofi?
10 toes down. Like I was a child running outside in my bare feet, which was healing. I used to water the garden with my bare feet and felt so much energy. And we're talking about much.
You're breaking up.
Everything is people. You look at African people, they walk.
You're breaking up. You're coming in and out. Can you
walking barefooted?
You're doing earthing.
I said walking barefooted. Walking barefooted.
Right. Yeah, earthing or grounding.
Walking barefooted.
Yes. In the snow? Are you walking barefoot in the snow in Chicago?
No, in the grass, in the dirt.
There's no grass in Chicago right now. It's
That's
snow.
what healed me as a child.
Oh, okay.
Some parts we got a mild winter. It's still grass out here.
Oh, okay.
We're blessed.
Okay, in Chicago. It's cold though.
So that was my question.
Right. What's the question again?
To a degree. We all right.
What is your question?
Walking barefooted. Walking barefooted for healing.
Yes.
Just like the plants and the trees, all grounded, and you talk about that.
Yes. Okay, that's your question.
That's all I want to say.
Okay. Well, great.
Yes.
That's a good point to bring in because we're talking about mushrooms and plants that are actually healing our earth and made all life on land possible. Actually, when you think about it, let me go to Brother Kwame Sunhorse, who has raised his hand, and he can even talk about that. In fact, Brother Kwame sent me a really good video about earthing that everybody should watch more of, because when you think about what it does just to put your bare feet on the ground and how all that leather plastic shoes are interfering with your connection to earth. So Brother Kwame, how are you this evening?
Good evening, Sister Beata, and good evening, Brother Eddie, and greetings to my brother Kofi. He asked the question about earthing and walking on the earth, and this is an excellent time, if you can do it, because of the portal opening that we just had with the full moon, the wolf moon, but it was also called the cosmic moon, because all of the planets was on the other side of the sun, and the moon was completely by itself there with the cosmic energy behind it, and it was radiating its light and sending that energy to the planet.
Yes.
With the full moon, and it's steady carrying that energy. And it's also in that with the dark side of the moon, it absorbs and holds that energy and transmits it now as it's going to wane. So we're still getting that energy as this moon is waning. And what's happening also is that with the Schumann frequency, with the alignment of the planets and the coronal mass ejections from the sun, we're getting an elevation in the Schumann frequency. And ionosphere is being amplified in its frequency. His name is Staran, Saran Burns. He's on YouTube, and he's a geophysicist, and he has an excellent report that he gives of the Schumann frequency. And right now, Canada and part of Russia in the northern hemisphere of the earth is getting these frequency uploads. We've gone from a 7 to a 44 hertz of Earth frequency, and this is part of the elevation of our consciousness. And the thing that I think I don't know, I came in late, but I don't know if y'all did the thing about Chernobyl and Melanin.
Yes.
Because they knew Fukushima and Chernobyl, that they start seeing black mold growing inside of these reactors that had been supposed to be not able to grow anything. But what the black mold was growing on the walls of the reactors was melanin.
Right.
And it's because melanin feeds on energy.
Yes.
And so that radioactive energy, and it's the same thing that happens with the microbials and the mushrooms. They feed on the energy and the frequency. That's why I started about the elevation of the earth frequency, because that now feeds the microbials in the earth that creates the mushrooms and the microbial net that we call the Wood Wide Web. And so what we're having is the elevation of this cosmic consciousness coming into the earth, and these frequencies coming up through the earth and also coming down from above. So as above, so below. And as we move through this, especially when we go back into nature, and it's kind of distorted when you live in an urban area and you're bombarded by EMFs and all of these things of frequency that distorts it. But the part is, it's still going to get to those ones, and this is part of the activation of the new being that's becoming here on the planet, that's going to be in adversary against the AI, because the DI is giving you the necessary frequencies as being energy to have enough energy to get through this and to elevate to the next level.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's all
and thank you,
Brother
Kwame, because
and I sent Brother Eddie, and I was going to tell Brother Eddie, I sent him this thing, and it's a nice piece on melanin.
Okay.
And it talks about, the parts in which it does chemically. Because, let me ask this question. A building with a lot of cells in it, what do they call it?
What did you say? A building with a lot of cells in it?
A building with a lot of cells in it, what do they call it?
A house or a body.
No, that has a lot of cells in it.
That's our human body.
Right. And
you talking about a prison?
The other thing, yeah, a prison. Because we imprison ourselves. And this is what I wanted to say, is because our cells are deficient in the frequency, so these cells are not putting out in the temple the necessary energy for us to stay in our freedom.
All right, that's a really thought-provoking statement, because there's a quote I was looking at. So some people are so comfortable in hell that heaven causes problems. That's from Dr. B. Serious in a website. We have been so imprisoned in the mindset of we have these cells that have no power, and the melanin doesn't do anything. And now we're being awakened, and consciousness is rising to teach us that the melanin inside of me can overpower any chemtrails in the sky. We don't have to worry about chemtrails in the sky. We've got melanin running through our blood that can just overpower any of that. So, Brother Eddie, I'll let you comment on what the comments have been so far. And Indy B says, wow. That's her comment, is wow. Hi, Indy. But Brother Eddie, go ahead.
Brother Kufi started off with bare feet. And as soon as I hear this, it's metaphysics by number. It's the alphabet by number. Bear comes to 13, just like the bear that hibernates. But bare feet, it's the same letters, same word, but it has a different definition. But the bare feet are 23, the 5. That's where you are grounding. That's why when you're grounded is 34, which is the 7. That's dealing with the melanin. And that magic basically radiates from your temple, starting on your head. That magic 17 on your head is your hair. Hair is 17. Your hair is your antenna to the universe. Antenna is 17. It's part of the magic that is embedded in the hair when it curls. Your hair, our hair comes out in a vortex, in a spiral. That's why spiral is 22. That's part of the creator. See, so again, all of these words hidden behind these numbers that we can now connect the dots. We can fill in the gap of missing information or buried information, because it's not missing, they buried it.
Right.
When they buried the truth.
Yeah.
And now it's time for all of it to be disclosed, to be unveiled, to be revealed during this revelations that we're in. Because revelation means to reveal. And we're in the time of revelations. And that's what's happening. The revealing is happening. Everybody's giving their view. And the view is supposed to radiate, as we talk about the radiation of all these atomic and nuclear bombs that were exploded, and we see that what's still existing is black mold, this melanin that basically cures by detoxifying the ability to adapt to everything that's thrown at us. But again, just because you are deeply melanated doesn't mean that your melanin is activated. Because if you have wrong thoughts, negative thoughts, it's not going to happen. It only happens through the pure and positive thoughts that we carry and we share. So when we revamp our thinking, that is the activation that is needed. And once we're truly activated, we're no more than a lit candle with our wicks to basically bend over and light an unlit candle. So its light will now illuminate. And the more wicks we light, the more we begin to see. So that's what we're doing with one another. We're helping each other along our personal journey so that we can activate through conversation, through the positive thoughts of conversations that resonate in us. See, ain't nobody giving you nothing that you don't already have.
Yes, yes.
And that's part of the keys that we're sharing is it's already in you. It's only sleeping or dormant because it hasn't been activated.
Yes, absolutely.
The conversations that we have carry the activation of the frequency and vibrations that's needed, and it amplifies so that we hear what we didn't hear before. We see what we didn't see before because it's right in front of us. You don't have to look very far. As Dorothy's Aunt M said, it's in your own backyard.
Yes.
You don't have to look any farther than your own backyard.
Yep, that's the truth. That's the truth. We got one more comment. Mama AZ is requesting to make another comment. Mama AZ, your mic is open.
Can you hear me, Dr. Z?
Yes, ma'am. Go right ahead.
Okay, greetings, Brother Kwame. And for those, my sister and a few other Capricorns who may be on the line, Brother Harris is a Capricorn. Now, Brother Kwame, I wanted to ask you, Dr. Latif and her sisters had a very, very interesting podcast today about getting your wills and your things in order. And there's a lot of strangeness that's been going on. What's the alignment, Brother Kwame, of moving forth as quickly as you can? Because I know when the moon comes in, the full moon, you got a window of 3 days. So I'm urging everybody to move forward with preparing your important papers, because things are really shifting, family. And thank us, Dr. Latif, and your sisters for putting me on notice. Everybody, I sent it to all of my almost 400 people, whether they received it or not. What's your read on that, Brother Kwame? Should we hurry up with the quickness and prepare?
Well, and I thank you for that question, Mom AZ. And yes, it's not, you don't have to write your last will and testament or your obituary. You know, it's a process of it's a transformation with Pluto gone into Aquarius, this transformation and revolution. The last time it was there was 249 years ago. And this is what happened here on this Turtle Island with the revolution and in the French Revolution. There is a transition, and these energies that are being activated to the planet is an elevation of a death and rebirth of that old you. That old you is getting ready to die, because there's a new energy that is within the planet and that is coming down from the moon and the planets. So what we're having is people are feeling what we call ascension disorders. And the part of us having this ascension, if you're not aware, because you were talking about the cure, and the word cure is right in front of you. You look at the word, it says C-U-R. C-U-R-E. When you put apostrophe R-E, it means that you are the cure. You have to go within yourself to activate your own universal oneness. Because as Rumi says, everything in the universe is within you. When are you going to use yourself? And these are the energies that are now being here given to the planet. To the planet, not just one side. This is the whole planet activation. And what we're being given is the necessary energy to move us through this death and rebirth of this old energy field that we once were in. But we have to be mindful, as like Brother Eddie said, it's in your thoughts. You have to change your thought frequency. And then you have to have the vision of that. And then you have to make a plan in order to create the new you. This is who is going to be left up to. It's the part of how do you free yourself from those cellular imprisonment that we're doing, because melanin is in every human, but we have an extra
90 seconds
amount of the melanin in order to tune in, because the black mold feeds on the energy, the radioactive air frequency. The sun is radioactive. And we're getting coronal mass ejection. The sun is in what we call the solar maximum for the next 11 years. And we're going to be getting these energy waves coming from the sun, the planetary alignments, and the moon.
60
and also
seconds.
Outside in our borders on our Milky Way galaxy, we have a dwarf planet It's called Sedna. Sedna, and it only comes into alignment it takes 11,700 years to make its orbit, and it only comes around and be in alignment with Earth for 72 years. And Sedna is spelled Sedna. To see the DNA activation is what we're getting. The activation of these frequencies are activating what Brother Eddie said, the dormant DNA. This is the activation of the energy that your melanated receptors can activate these dormant DNA cells that needs to be reactivated so we can move forward and grow from a Homo sapien to a Homo spiritus. We're moving from carbon to silica. That's why we're using all this silica technology, because that's what runs computers. It's silica.
Yeah. So I want to just emphasize what all of our speakers have said tonight, that what comes out of our mouth and what we put in our mouth is what is going to determine the new life that's going to grow in us, like the mushrooms, like the energy that we so need. And the brain is as Bruce Lipton said on Friday, the brain is the government of our body. The government is up here in this mind and this brain, and we're renewing our mind right now in this new moon, in this new season. And we're even with the Female Solution, we're going into the month of February, Black History Month, Heart Month. And tomorrow, Zelda's show talks about the love series continues part 2, how to get the love you want, with a cancer designer, survivor, activist, Karen Allen, tomorrow at 7 to 9 Central on youtube.com, Higher Learning, Monday Morning Mindfulness. And I want to remind everyone the best definition, I think, of love, that's where we have to start, is what does love mean to you? And the Bible definition from 1 Corinthians remind us that love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, and more important, it keeps no record of wrong. Forgiveness is key when it comes to loving yourself, forgiving self, and loving others, forgiving others. And I learned that lesson a big time this week and the couple of weeks. In 2024, in fact, has been a lesson for me about love, reconciliation, learning to love myself more, and especially to forgive myself and others. So, Brother Eddie, I'll let you have the last word. And as we move forward and celebrate the end of this month, January, bada bang, we're going to have some real fun activity in the United States of America coming up. So everybody needs to get ready with your mindfulness and consciousness. So, Brother Eddie, last words for us?
Love, right on. Love is 14, the 5. Conquers is 32, the 5, and all is 5. Love conquers all, family. So let's start with that, because that's our saving grace. And I'd like to thank you, Dr. V, and the family for this opportunity to share useful information, because we're all still learning. And to understand that we're still learning, that puts the ego in check. Just remain humble, family. Remain humble. Peace and love.
All right. Beautiful words. Thank you all for joining us tonight. We are going forward with power and might, more and more consciousness arising in the family to heal what's in. Remember, the cure is within, because magical mushrooms are the plant that has helped us survive in this planet, in the earth. And the melanin is in every single human being that can be activated to empower us to come out of fear and to have faith in the universal energy of love. So tune in tomorrow for more teachings on the love energy. So we're going to say goodbye to our global family now. And everybody have a great week. Smile, smile, smile. Remember, it's going to help your development of your melanin.
But you can hear every show in the archives at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution. You can also hear today's show on the Female Solution Facebook page. Go to www.facebook.com/the-female-solution. Leave your comments about today's show. You can always reach me on my website at www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com. Watch our TV shows, listen to our radio shows, order our books, and be sure to get your copy of the book, The Female Solution. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussion. And to our global family listening from all around the world, we say thank you.
Thank you.
To our family in China, sheshe.
Sheshe.
India, zanyaba.
Zanyaba.
Japan, arigato.
Arigato.
Korea, kamsamida.
Kamsamida.
Russia, spasiba.
Spasiba.
Germany, danke.
Donke.
Poland, Jean
Jonkinyong.
France, merci.
Merci beaucoup.
Spain, gracias.
Muchos gracias.
Italy, grazie.
Grazie.
Egypt, shukran.
Shukran.
Ghana, madasi.
Madasi.
Nigeria, eshe.
Eshe.
South Africa, ngiyabonga.
Ngiyabonga.
Senegal, get it.
Get it.
Kenya, asante.
Asante.
Israel, toda.
Toda Rabba.
Pakistan, shukriya.
Shukriyan.
Afghanistan, tashakur.
Tashakur.
Saudi Arabia, shukran.
Shukran.
Assalamu alaikum wa
Assalamu
rahmatullahi
alaikum.
wa barakatuh.
And to all my yogi friends out there, namaste and satnam and aloha to all my Hawaiian brothers and sisters. Stand strong, Lahaina, stand strong. You got this. And our prayers are with you out there in Maui. Have a great week. Shalom.